Hello. One of the questions I read a lot, people have it all the time is when will this stop? When will this pain stop? When will the hurt stop? When will I get through this? How long? And every incarnation of that question that you can possibly fathom. That's a loaded question. And there's probably a gazillion different personal answers to it. I'd like to take a stab at and let you know what I've been experiencing in terms of that, and how I'm choosing to see the experience going forth into my life and coming off of the relationship. I'm choosing to see it as, I don't know, I think the pain at first it changes and it goes through its evolution from sad pain to mad pain to figuring out what happened pain and everything in between. There's a lot of different stages of hurt and anguish and confusion and work and toil you're going through to try to figure it out. I think that eventually, wherever you land, once you get through the sad, the mad, the confusion, all the different pains, where you land towards the end of it, does it linger? I think that's the question. Does that pain linger? The very, very end of the relationship. And I'd like to think that we recall the hurt. I'd like to think that we can do that so we don't repeat our behavior. And we remember the lesson, but the sharp, can't breathe pain, that does stop. I can tell you that stops. And I know you're sitting in it and you're thinking, this is never going to stop. I'm never going to get over it. I can only be with this person. No one else will do it for me. I can't explain why. I know even with all the education that this person's bad for me, but I want to be with them anyway in the face of all that information. Does that sound familiar? Because you think you love that person. And I get it. I get that. But I'm here to tell you that if we pay attention to the bag of tricks that the narcissist left us, it is endless amounts of bad memories and more pain. So if you think of the bag of tricks and you go into it and you sift through the bag and you see painful time after painful time, keep those. Don't dwell. Don't dwell. It's a bag of tricks. So I'm not telling you to go through it and dwell on these bad things, but bask in the education that it gave you and remember what happened so that you don't repeat it. And obviously the only way to ensure you don't get the treatment anymore is if you're not with the person anymore. That is unfortunately the only way for you to get to the next step where the sharp pain goes away. Because if you stay with the narcissist, I'm not telling you to leave your narcissist, that's a personal choice. But when you stay, and I've said it many times, there will be more infliction of pain upon you. There just will be. And had I left sooner, and I've said this many, many times, I would have saved myself all of the subsequent bad times that I would not have seen had I left the first bad time. I think that if our path is something like the attitude that we're going to accept the pain that we experienced as lessons for the future so as to not get caught up into that again, then we can start to turn it around into something constructive, and that helps heal. It helped me heal. You know, you try to think, okay, well, I'm going to learn about this and help other people or whatever it is that you're going to do. It can maybe shed that sharp pain eventually and maybe at least quiet it down. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be that stabbing. Honestly, on my final, I didn't even cry. And you might say, well, oh my God, I can't stop crying. Apparently, I'm not in the same position as you, but I was where you were. Of course I was. Oh my God, of course I was. And I think eventually you just catch on that you have to function. We have to function, right? We must take back control of our own insides and what's allowed to get in. What we allow to reside in there is up to us. And to extinguish the pain inside that you're feeling now, unfortunately, there's no magic formula, there's no magic trick to it. There's just, it takes some time. And then you might say, well, is it a week? Is it a month? Is it a day? I understand that desperation too of wanting that answer. You just want to say, get this away from me. I don't want to feel this anymore. When we get back into the world, we need to be able to undim our light that has been dimmed in order to let other people see us and allow other things back into our lives. Okay, so connect with people. Don't be afraid because of the experience you just had. Don't be afraid. You may excuse, that was an alarm. And then through that behavior of reconnecting with people and getting back out into the world, we may land in a place even better than what we ever thought possible. And that pain, it never gets really shelved, does it? It will always be associated with the experience we've had with the narcissist. I will always associate a lot of pain with that experience. There is more pain than good. And I venture to challenge you to look at your relationship and see if it's the same thing. That helps alleviate the pain, believe it or not. If you look at your relationship and see if it's unbalanced and you're like, I've had a lot more pain lately than I've had joy, or overall than I've had joy, that can help to alleviate the pain, because then it kind of brings it more towards the mad pain, the anger. And I think that's easier to wallow in than sad pain. The sad pain is a tough one to get through. It is. No, that's a very tough one to get through because you're heartbroken, and I get that. And when you're in that, it doesn't feel like it's going to end. But it does. One day you turn a corner and it becomes lighter, and you find yourself waking up, having your coffee, getting about your day, and suddenly you think, oh my God, I haven't even thought about the narcissist for an hour. And then the next week, and then the next month. Time is going to pass anyway. So it will heal you. Every single day is going to be a new day, and it will heal you eventually. And then the pain is going to dissipate into a corner and be a memory with the narcissist. That's how I've compartmentalized mine. It all sits over here, but I think about the lessons all the time. I don't let it consume me, but I don't want to forget what I learned ever, and I don't want to be bitter. So I don't let it do that. I let it just remain there as lessons, and with every single day doing the many things that we've talked about that you can do to heal, you do get to a point that you turn a corner and the pain lessens. And I promise you it does, because I'm sitting here telling you it does. I don't even remember the last time that I did cry over the narcissist. And when you're in the relationship, we all know that at least every day you're crying hard because of that sharp stabbing pain. I think that in order for the pain to stop, though, unfortunately, and if you're not ready to hear this, then I'm sorry, For the pain to stop with the narcissist, you have to stop with the narcissist. That's what I finally did learn, is that the pain just keeps perpetuating if you're still with them, because there's always a new thing that they're doing to hurt you. There's always new material that they're going to throw at you. So that pain is always a fresh wound that they pick at, they pick at, they pick at. Once you leave them, then you can build on yourself, and maybe the pain becomes a distant memory eventually of an experience we had once. I can live with that. I can live with that. It's not the first time I felt pain in my life, and maybe it won't be the last. I'm a big girl. So are you. But if you're still in it and you're wondering, but if I leave him, would it ever go away? I'm afraid to face it. I don't want to leave her or him because I'm afraid to face how much the pain is it's going to be excruciating. Absolutely. But if you stay in it, there's more excruciating to come, guaranteed. You're putting off the inevitable. Whereas I'm in a situation now where I've been working on sifting through the pain, organizing it, compartmentalizing it, that now I'm in a place where I'm not having that stabbing pain. It's a loaded question. It's a lot of personal answers out there for that question, and it all depends on your path. So good luck. It's a tough one. But you can do it. You just have to concentrate on what you want and think about what you want for your future. If you want it to be pain-free from that narcissist, the first step is, well, freeing yourself from that narcissist when you're ready. Chin up.